We have my dude, the one and only Heavy D, man. Heavy D was like the LL Cool J, the heavy set version of you know the ladies love dude, but was a heavy set version of that persona. He had the group Heavy D and the Boys before he went solo. Rest in peace to Heavy D, man. Rest in peace to Heavy D. He had did a lot of collabos. Part Jamaican. He did this like two joints with Super Cat before. He did a song with Big Pun, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know about that, folks. Look that up. Heavy D and Big Pun did a joint together. He had a lot of classic joints, but Mr. Big Stuff was off this album. It's called Living Large, an album that you must have as a true hip hop fan. Let's go to my dude, one of the legends, the hip hop legends, man. Kool G Rap. One of the gangsters of the beginning of rap, up there, like I said, with Just Ice, who I was talking about earlier. That gangster storytelling, scenarios and rhymes, nobody was able to do it like Kool G Rap. And this is Kool G Rap and Polo, his DJ. They had that group. They was a duo for a while before Kool G Rap branched off and just went solo on his own. But this is a classic joint, man. Definitely his first album to definitely have in your collection. One of my favorite MCs, and not just a gangster rapper known for his gangster rhymes and mob stories, but just as a lyricist. Like, you listen to the Symphony with Big Daddy Kane and all them on that joint, you definitely see the one who stood out. Definitely stood out the most. You got my dudes right here, man. MOP, man. To the death. MOP, one of my favorite duo groups. I mean, EPMD is definitely Run DMC, and EPMD is definitely my first two. Then I gotta go in it. I gotta go in MOP. My buddy Barry, you know what I mean. I give a shout out to him, put me down with them, and put me down for who they were. And he got me into this group, and ever since he got me into them, I got all the albums, man. Every single album you could think of, they got and did. I got it. They rhyme. They make you want to go rob somebody. They the type of group that you listen to while you working out and get you hyped, get your heart pumping. You don't have to be from the streets to feel the energy that they had. But two hype dudes, Little Fame, man, he had that energy like nobody, man. Like, he was like a Kool G Rap. We talking about Kool G Rap. He remind me of Kool G Rap, Lil Fame. And Billy, he remind me of Scarface. So Scarface, imagine Scarface and imagine Kool G Rap on an album together. That's who them two remind me of, in my opinion. Then we had the one and only, man, that you have to definitely give props to, Eazy-E. Like I said, he came from the group NWA. This solo album he did is a classic because Eazy ain't never wanted to rhyme. He wanted to just be the dude in the back. He was a drug dealer of the group. He's the one that just financed everything, the money for the album, all that stuff. And he just wanted to play in a cut and do that. And so they put him on a record, and his voice was unique. It stood out. As Ice Cube wrote the lyrics for him, and that's what he became known for. And his flow and delivery, the way he always said it. And rest in peace to Eazy. It was rumors that he had AIDS and he died from AIDS, but it was rumors that he was injected with the AIDS virus through Suge Knight. That's the rumor, and that's the scenario that they said that was what happened to him. And I truly believe it, that he was trying to lead a group or do whatever he wanted to do on his own. And Suge Knight, I'm saying, he did a lot of stuff. He's suffering now for all the stuff he did to people and everything. But rest in peace, my dude, Easy. Rest in peace, my dude. We had one of the groups, man. One of the hypest, craziest groups of all time, these young black teenagers. And there was a group called the Young Black Teenagers who was, believe it or not, who was a bunch of white boys. But these crazy young teenagers, leaders of a new school. They had the song PTA. Zone Coaster, Sound of the Zekas is my favorite joint off this album. Every song was banging off this album too. Like, every song back to back to back to back. Like, it's rare to play albums down where you could just let it play without skipping. This one of these albums is like that. Busta Rhymes came from this group. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Dinkle D, Charlie Brown. The group was given a name from Leaders of a New School. Was given a name from Chuck D. Busta Rhymes got his name from Chuck D, and also a football player. Believe it or not, his real name was Busta Rhymes. That was his nickname. A football player that Busta Rhymes got his name from. But Leaders of a New School, man, they had 2 albums, and they broke up for whatever reasons, and then Busta got, with the Flip Mode Squad, formed his little group, and Spliff Star, became his right hand man, and they start becoming an untouchable duo. Busta went on his own and made some classic albums after that. We got the one and only Special Ed, man. Special Ed, Young is in Charge. Was definitely a classic hip hop album. A lot of females liked him. She's a light skinned boy. I think he was part. I don't think he was Spanish. I think he was like Hawaiian or something like that. I thought he was Spanish, but he wasn't. But he had the John. I Got It Made, classic album. Like I said, timeless hip hop. Thing about Special Ed, a lot of artists back in the day, like him and Chubb Rock and all them, they spoke clearly. They ain't mumble. You listen to every part of the lyric, understood every single thing they said clearly. And this album, man, like he had some lyrics, man. He definitely had some lyrics. And definitely was thorough, and his style was thorough. Special Ed, they had the old school joints. He definitely know how to rock a crowd. He definitely a crowd rocker, and definitely know how to motivate the crowd. Another album got here on his wall, classic hip hop album, is the Crown Rulers, Paper Chase. This is the song on his album. Kick the ball, anything you want, kick the ball, kick it. Definitely, man, a song people from Philly know about this group from Jersey. When you kick the ball on at any old school party, the party is gonna jump. And this album was timeless, a hit of its time. Like, it was real for this album, for the time it came out in the 80s. It was a real before its time album. Beats was banging, rhymes complimented. Grand Puba was the boy's name. Ain't that a coincidence? Another Grand Puba. We had the one and only LL. Bad album. You know what I'm saying? With I'm Bad. Him and Run DMC was, not Run DMC, Run from Run DMC was the first 2 hype rappers during their age to come out. Now, the thing about LL, he was 16 when he came out with Radio, which was his first album. But I love this album because it had a lot of classic joints on here, like Candy, Bad, a lot of other joints on this album that I like. Him standing on his car that you see in front of the school or whatever he at in the background. He said this car he's standing on, he still has it to this day. He rebuilt it over and still got this original car he's standing on to this day that he did over, which is crazy when you think about it. But L, the smoothest dude, ladies love Cool James. Everybody know how he came out, man. Listen to his story. The first one who started Def Jam with Russell Simmons. The first youngest hype dude. People like him and Cannabis had that little back and forth thing. He ate Cannabis up because who L was. L had to teach him a lesson that, I started that hype, that hypeness. The first hype rapper that was young at the time and full of energy, man. Nobody came out and had that energy like L did and brought to the hip hop game. And he wasn't afraid to be himself and experiment and do different types of songs. AZ, man. Also fellow Pisces, man. One of my favorite albums, Do or Die. Him and Nas, man. I ain't gonna say Nas is better, and I ain't gonna say he better than Nas. But Nas definitely got a person that was definitely his match, man. That I could say, like, both of them had 2 different types of flows and styles. But AZ, he's the type of dude that sees stuff, man, like, I love pussy with pretty lips when you fucking it farts. Like he say shit like that. Like if being a fellow Pisces, I can understand Az and some of the stuff that he said was like off the wall type of like damn. He actually said that. So you listen to Az, man. You like yo, this dude was definitely underrated. Definitely underrated. That should be mentioned more in the hip hop world.